morning, Virgo. This is going to be your reading. I always hate it because Virgo is always last this week. So every other week there's always a sign. Like the other week it's always Leo is always last. Virgo's always last this week. I don't know. There's really no rhyme or reason as to how or why I choose to do the signs that I do. I do know that I always start with Scorpio and Sagittarius because I'm a Scorpio and my divine partner is a Sagittarius. And then I go from there. So there's really no rhyme or reason, but I do always feel like I save the best for last. And I do always want to make sure, I always try to make sure that my Virgo reading is perfect. I always try to make sure that I have enough energy for you because I don't want you to feel like, you're just getting crumbs or whatever. That's why sometimes I wait till Sunday, especially if I've had a long weekend. So if your Virgo reading sometimes doesn't happen till Sunday, it's because I want to make sure that I've really recharged so that I can give you the best possible reading. I did want to say that I've had to disable comments on my videos because I've had a lot of harassment and threats, believe it or not, and it's really crazy. I don't understand it, and I feel like it's something that is teaching me something. It's one of my lessons, because I'm on a spiritual journey as well, so it's teaching me something. But with that being said, I've had to disable comments, and I hate that because there are people that really want to genuinely comment. But it just takes a few people to ruin it for everybody. But like I said, I've been threatened and harassed. I'm like, it's not like I'm a news anchor person that gets paid to make videos or report the news. I'm doing this because I'm channeling messages from my spirit guides, from my goddess, Santa Marta La Dimina Dora. She's my patron saint. I channel a lot of messages from her. She really helps me do my readings. A lot of times different spirits that I do channel because I am a medium. They help me with my readings as well. And so I take the time, I just got done delivering papers this morning and, I'm exhausted and, I'm taking the time to sit in here and do this video. So to sit up and threaten, harass me and stuff is crazy. I'm like, who raised you? But it is what it is, and people are in a lot of lower energies, and they're very they're at a very unconscious state, and there's no judgment. It is what it is. And I also want to say too that I did get some runes in, and I've been playing around with them, and they are going to make for the most amazing readings. I'm not going to have time to do runes readings for every single sign. I haven't decided yet how I'm going to find the time and energy to incorporate them. I might just do an all signs runes reading once a week. Or if I get, because I'm telling you, oh my God, these runes readings are going to be amazing. I can really read the energy of the runes. It's just wonderful. I've got new cards too. I'm real excited. But, I might every other week, every other reading, I might do cards or runes. So do watch for that. So, sorry, that was a little bit of a longer public service announcement than I wanted to make, but I'm going to go ahead and get started. So, the first card that I have, my camera focused here, is the Eight of Cups. Okay, this is the Make-A-Wish card. So, there's a couple of different energies that I was really getting when I pulled these cards, when I was really looking at them a minute ago. And one is this Make-A-Wish. Really set your intentions for what you want so that it can come to you. It became clear to me yesterday morning when I was delivering papers, because that's when I spend a lot of time with my spirit guides, because, they're on my paper route with me. One particular spirit guide, if you ever hear me talk about Dr. George, I'm always channeling messages from him. And basically, he said that the universe wants us, okay, to ask for what we need and for what we want. Ask for it. The universe is an abundant place, okay, and it always has our back, and they're just waiting. And understand, all souls form this patchwork quilt that form the universe. which we're all a part of. Okay, and we can manifest money anytime we want. Money is energy. There's a reason it's called currency. There's a reason why it's said that money can return to you. There's a return on your investment. Okay, so do set your intentions out there and do ask the universe for what you want. I feel like I didn't turn my flash on. I thought I did, but I apologize if it's a little dark. I have my lights on in here. This is clarified by the Papist. This is the female pope. Now, it's really interesting because I actually looked up about the female pope, about the Papist. There is a lot of evidence that there was a female pope. I don't know, I can't remember what her name was right now. But she actually disguised herself as a man. And she was able to get by until she gave birth. She got pregnant and gave birth, and they stoned her. The baby, I guess, grew up to be a pope as well. So this is the card to clarify that Eight of Cups. So what I'm getting with this is that you can basically become, or you can do anything that you set your mind to. Now, something is coming through, too, about gender roles. I feel like there's, some of you out there that are possibly doing jobs that are typically for, like, one gender or another, okay? And so maybe souls don't know gender, okay? If you watch my my past lives videos, I'm always talking about the fact that spirits and souls do not know gender. And so you quite possibly have had past lives where you've been a different gender than what you are now. And sometimes those past lives will bleed into where you're at now. And the reason why I say this, now understand, I know that I have said before, and I don't know if I've said it in my Virgo videos, but once you die and you return to source energy, there's a reset button. So any type of hatred, bitterness, unforgiveness, any type of karma or anything like that gets released. However, sometimes we die and we still had unfinished business, or we incarnate into the bodies that we're into so that we can learn things. We're divine beings having human experiences because we want to learn what it's like to be human. So with that being said, we carry those lessons over with us into like these particular lifetimes. So the message, the energy that I'm getting with this card is that if you are working in an industry that is typically, and I'm thinking like flash dance. You know how Alex was a welder and she was stripper by night, welder during the day? Or, you might be a male nurse, and I was thinking about the Fockers. Which, there's more and more male nurses nowadays. There used to be like, 20 years ago, people would have been like, male nurse, what the hell? Now there's like a whole lot of male nurses. So I'm getting that someone might even be thinking about entering into a field where it is not traditional for their gender. And the message coming through from Spirit is do that. And that has to do with that Make-A-Wish, about setting your intentions and really going for what it is that you want. Yeah, I forgot to turn my flash on. I thought I had turned it on. All right, we have the Nine of Wands, if I can get it in focus. There we go. Now, basically, the energy that I always get with this card is, this is that kind of like the elephant in the room, not addressing the elephant in the room. So there is an issue at hand, and I can't tell you what it is, only you know what it is, that is not being addressed, that is being tiptoed around. And what I'm sensing is that quite possibly even in your family life, there's a lot of tension right now. And people are not talking. So the message that's coming through from Spirit is do address the elephant in the room. Stop ignoring it, because communication is going to be the key here. And I feel like this is kind of a big issue. Something has came up. Possibly a breach of trust. Maybe some financial issues. I'm really getting and feeling very strongly that there have been some financial issues and maybe some issues with infidelity. And, you know, maybe, like I said, there's a lot of tension, and that does need to be addressed right now. And like I said, the message coming through from Spirit is do sit down and talk about it and address this. And once you do, you can have that new beginning that you've been looking for, that rebirth. This is beautiful. You know, and you might be at a crossroads right now where you're trying to decide if you want to leave a relationship, possibly for a new one, or, like I said, I'm just really feeling very strongly like there's been some infidelity, and maybe you have to make a decision. Do you want to trust your partner again? Maybe you're the one who has stepped out outside the bounds of the contract of your marriage. And anyone who knows or have listened to my videos, they know that I talk all the time about really a 3D marriage is nothing more than a contract. It's not a soul marriage. It's fear-based. It's based on rules. It's based on tradition. It's a contract. I'm not taking away from the institution of marriage. I do respect it. You know, I don't mess around with married people. But to me, marriage of the soul, to me, is more about, like I said, that merging, that spiritual union, than it actually is a piece of paper. So, and that's, to be honest with you, that's the reason why the divorce rate is so high, because people look at marriage like, you know, you get into it and, you know, you default. It's like having something repossessed or defaulting on a loan, having to file bankruptcy. People do that shit all the time. So, but there's a certain amount of tradition to this, and I feel like some people are actually possibly dealing with some religious requirements. I know when I went through my divorce after 20 years, I was one of Jehovah's Witnesses for 20 years. It was very difficult for me to leave my marriage just because it was so frowned upon. And, I mean, I had to sit down. I had to talk to the elders about it. I thought at one point I was going to be disfellowshipped. I still haven't been disfellowshipped. I'm not sure why. Because I've really pretty much, like, you know, left organized religion altogether. I mean, I have my own beliefs now. But I do feel like for somebody out there that they feel like they cannot leave the marriage contract that they're in right now because of family and friends, what people will think about them, and for religious reasons like mine were. And the message coming through from Spirit is everything's being divinely guided and everything's going to be fine, and you're going to have a new beginning. And so do choose from your soul. And I'm not saying leave your partner. I'm saying make a decision from your heart. And don't worry about what other people think. We have the 5 of Wands. And so basically this is the same energy that I'm really picking up on. True power comes when you are no longer afraid about what other people think or how they feel about you. I know I used to feel like, well, you know, you have to conform so much to society. There's a certain amount of conformity you have to do because you have to be able to work. You have to be able to play nice with others. As I've gotten older, I just don't care. That's the reason why I deliver papers and I have my sales and my channel, just because I remove myself from the matrix. I try to have as little intrusion as I can in my life right now. But like I said, true power comes when, like I said, you can be free and be free of restrictions and be free of rules and really speak your truth and be your true authentic self, because that message is coming up as well here in a few minutes with some other cards. Now we have this card here, and I did look it up, and this card has to do with ancestors. I know Memorial Day evening here in Indiana, where I live at, we had a tornado outbreak, and we got hit with 7 tornadoes. 7. And a town that's like, it's in the same county as where I live. It's about 10 minutes from here. It's a little small town, Pendleton, Indiana. Got hit really, really hard. I mean, it like just came through. It was an E2 tornado, just almost wiped the town out. And the main thing that people were saying was, man, we can rebuild everything else, but we had trees that were 100 years old that were uprooted. They got some new trees, like the baby trees, whatever baby trees are called, that they're going to be planting. But still, you know, I mean, these trees were 100 years old that this E2 tornado came through and just ripped out of the ground. So that's almost like the tower moment, you know, when things come crashing down. But the messages that have been coming through lately, it seems like for the collective consciousness as a whole. And remember I said it's like a patchwork of souls that are all connected that form the universe. So we are all one consciousness. Our ancestral clearing right now. A lot of times we take on patterns from our parents, who took those on from their parents, who took those on from their parents. And as we start raising our vibration and we start waking more and more spiritually, we are the ones who are here to clear ancestral patterns. And that could possibly even be traditions, beliefs. I know, like, my mom's side of the family was very matriarchal. Very, very powerful. The women on that side of the family, mediums, witches, psychics, fortune tellers, very, very, very powerful forces to be reckoned with. But with that power came a lot of revenge and bitterness and grudges. My grandmothers died hating people, having grudges, and having grudges so long that they forgot why they were even mad. And my mom was the same way, and I've tended to be the same way. I've taken that on too. And a lot of times we take these things on even if we haven't been around them, because it's passed down. You know, and some of it, like I said, could be religious beliefs that, you know, you could maybe believe differently than your family does. And you're scared. That was that energy I got over here. You're scared to kind of be your authentic self and speak out. And, you know, maybe you have pagan beliefs, or maybe you are into like voodoo or witchcraft, you know. I tend to really be drawn to those type of things. And, you know, it's very, you know, that's non-conformist. You know, people like really look down on you for that. They really judge you for that. But the message that's coming through, like I said, with I was getting to with like the revenge and the grudges and stuff, I've really been clearing that. Do you know how much energy it takes to hold a grudge against somebody? And that is energy that I could use to manifest like more money. So I've really been focused on clearing those. So the message that's coming through with this ancestor card is do question and start clearing this stuff, because we are the ones that are meant to do that. We have the Knave of Disc. See if I can get it in focus here. And so basically what I'm getting with this card is this is that whole wanting to move forward and wanting to possibly start a business. I'm getting for somebody. This is wanting to move forward, have a new business, a business enterprise. But you're feeling really beat up right now, and feeling really like you take a step forward and 2 steps back every time. But the message that's coming through from Spirit is focus on what you want. Stop worrying about what's going to go wrong. Stop coming. I know people tell us all the time, come up with a backup plan. Please do not come up with backup plans. Backup plans are what you align to, because whatever you prepare for is what you're going to manifest. I know at one time I was like, man, I should put like a whole emergency kit in my trunk of my car. Like just everything. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not taking away from emergency preparedness. I mean, like I said, we just got hit with 7 tornadoes here Memorial Day. But what I am saying is that whatever you focus your energy on will show up. So do make sure that you change the stories that you're telling yourself and that you're consciously creating now and not creating by default. Because to clarify that card, we have financial constraints. If you have a poverty mindset, a mindset that's set on scarcity and lack, not having enough, guess what? I know so many times I'm sitting there, I'm crunching numbers. I'm like, man, do I have enough money? Do I have enough money? If, my spirit guides have to tell me, stop doing that. We got you. Have we ever not supported you? Have we ever not had your back? And I've had to say, well, no. Okay, then. So make sure that you change the stories that you're telling yourself and focus on what you want more of. And tell yourself you have enough. I had to do daily affirmations. I have enough money. The universe has my back. I'm being divinely guided. I am protected. We have a new beginning here. This is that Ace of Disc. And the message that I'm getting from Spirit is, if you can change your mindset, you can change your life. I feel like a lot of the reason why I've had some negative response in my videos are people are angry. They come to the videos because they want a magic pill. Tell me this is going to happen and tell me when. Tell me my lover's going to return and tell me when they're coming. You know what? That is giving away your power. I mean, wouldn't you rather me tell you how to make it happen? Seriously. I mean, I'm not taking away from other readers. I mean, you go and watch other readers and stuff and they tell you this, that, or whatever else. I mean, how many times does that, actually happen? I know I had several readings. My lover's going to return. My lover's going to return. My twin flame is coming back to me. And if you have not watched my twin flame videos, do that, because I do my twin flame readings different than anybody else does. But until I realize that I have all the power, I'm creating as I go. I am a co-creator with the universe. And I took back my power. And time doesn't exist anyway. There's only energy. So nobody can tell you when something is exactly going to happen, because you have to align to it. And how do you align to it? By watching, how to align to it. And that's what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to help people, And, I'm not taking away from the gentleman. I had a gentleman that, the other day, and he was really angry, and he was commenting about forgiveness. How do I forgive people? This didn't just happen overnight. And all this has happened, and that's happened. And, I read energy, okay? It's different if you're coming in and you're really legitimately looking for my help, because I will go out on a limb and I will spend whatever time and energy I have to spend trying to help people. But he was baiting me, and he was trying to feed off of my energy, basically. He was trying to get a response. He was trying to shock me. I recognized it for what it was, and all I simply said was, because look, I'm a straight shooter, and I am going to keep it all the way 100, and all I said was, I keep my videos positive, okay? And I know there's lots of other videos out there that are lower vibrational, that have the victim mentality that you're looking for. And he got upset. But sometimes people need to hear shit that's hard. And I'm the one, I'm going to tell you that. And I don't mind not being popular. I don't have to be popular. My messages don't have to be. Crystal, have faith and hope, because there is something positive and new on the horizon that you can't yet see. So this is about having that faith, because I do feel very strongly, like I said, good things are coming to you. You're in a new cycle right now. And once you clear that mindset, okay, and you could even be in that victim mentality too, where you feel like things just don't go your way. Everything just kind of goes downhill. Well, release that, because I promise you that's what you're aligning to. And we have the Ten of Disc, okay? And so this is the completion. Okay, we have the Ten of Disc, and then we have the Ace of Disc. So this is that ending. I'm sorry, my camera's not really in focus. This is that Ten of Disc that has to happen in order for you to get into that new energy. And in order for this to happen, it says the monster within, internal struggle, personal challenges, wanting to improve. And so I do feel like maybe somebody is dealing with toxic patterns. I know we have the ancestral patterns we need to clear. And this has to do with beliefs that no longer serve us. But also maybe you're dealing with codependency. Possibly I'm getting for someone that you're dealing with addictions. And this doesn't have to necessarily be substances. This can be retail. This can be overworking. I know my thing was retail and overworking. And the two go hand in hand, because if you have a retail addiction, guess what? You have to work to support it. And a retail addiction can be a monster, can get you into all kinds of trouble, you know, bankruptcy court, all kinds of stuff, you know, and so I'm getting that for somebody too. And if you do have a retail addiction and a work addiction like I did, it has to do with how you feel about yourself. This message is coming through for somebody. I thought that having all these things would make me feel good about myself, and people look at me be like, oh, look at her, she's got it going on or whatever. And that was not who I was, and I literally had to be stripped down to where those things didn't even matter anymore, to where I had to really see myself from a real perspective, because we have this card right here, this false person. Well, I feel like this false person is you, because this is that whole putting on a persona and not being your authentic self. And, you know, like I said with, you know, my retail addiction, don't give me credit cards. Don't do it. I don't do well with credit. I will go out there and buy up all kinds of shit. You should see my shoe collection. Because I was really trying to feel good about myself. I grew up poor. And I never had, when I was, you know, like in elementary school, middle school, I never had what other kids had. And so I always felt really bad about myself. And so when I did get to the point where, you know, I could buy stuff for myself, that's all I wanted to do. And this also could be working for success to prove something for other people. And this could be blocking you as well. I am sensing some of this energy. I'm sensing some of this energy that you've been trying to prove something to others. Maybe people told you wouldn't amount to anything. You're like, you know what, I'll show you. But the message that's coming through from Spirit is make sure that you are, whatever it is that you're doing, do it for yourself. And always be your authentic self. Always be true to you. Because really, other people, the message that I had, the point I had to get to was other people really are not worried about you. They have their own shit. So always put yourself first. And do what's going to satisfy you, not from a material point of view, but from a soul perspective. We have this marriage card, and I do feel like this goes with that energy up here with possibly, and this could be that false person here, this energy that somebody's been disloyal. And this could be that elephant in the room that you are trying to address right now. And like I said, it came up earlier that communication is going to be the key. And also don't be scared about what other people think or other people feel about clearing this ancestral patterns and possibly even, you know, some sort of religious obligation to stay in a marriage that is no longer serving you. Maybe, you know, that's where the toxic patterns are. The monster within. Maybe, you know, you're not happy where you are. And you haven't been happy for some time, and you're wanting to grow and do other things. I know when I got my divorce after 20 years, I started taking violin lessons because I had always wanted to. I started spending more time out in nature. I know my ex-husband, now he's like, I don't even know you anymore. Well, you know what? You never did to begin with. And that's the energy I'm getting with that card. Well, let me go ahead and read this postcard oracle. if I can. It's so dark in here. Dear wonderful you. Hold on. Intimacy is scary sometimes. It means you have to let someone else get to know the real you, not the perfect, flawless mask you wear for others. Wow. No, it's time to reveal the cool one, the passionate one, the imperfect one that is totally you, without artifice or walls. Yes, you will be exposed and vulnerable for a time, but it will be so worth it. This is the only way you will know true closeness with others, and you will also be close to Spirit and to us. There is amazing freedom that comes when you let go and trust, be yourself with another or a group. Release from the invisible bindings that keep you from intimacy is truly empowering. So may we support you wholeheartedly in this choice. You will know yourself better, and we hope learn to love yourself as much as we do. Life is about who we are with others, so share it. You will be so glad you did. Loving you so, so much. I'm so sorry. It was so hard for me to read. I can't believe I forgot to turn my camera on, or I didn't get it turned on. I need to always make sure I have that done. But this is your Virgo reading, and it was a little longer than I expected. Sorry, I got sidetracked with my side stories. But I'm doing video chat readings now. They're $50. You get about 40 minutes of my time and energy. You can pay through PayPal or Cash App. And also you can make an energy donation to my channel with the same links that I'll put in the description of the video. Thank you for watching.